Hey y'all, welcome back to the Poetry Hall Pass lecture series. Today, a short little bit we call Emily Gilligan Maroon. And I'll give you a fun additional way to look at Emily Dickinson. Now, for those that don't speak English as a first language, what I'm about to say about this word is what makes it such a hard language to learn. And for those who write poetry in English, this very same principle makes it a good language to write poetry in. What I'm talking about is the word maroon. If I said, what does the word maroon mean? You're probably initially going to think a color, and you'd be right. It also can mean to be stranded, like on a desert island. And it also refers to a group of people in the New World. You can ask Mr. Google about that, Miss Google. And it also was used in the old Bugs Bunny cartoons as to mean like sucker, as in what a maroon. So, with all that in mind, one thing we'd like to do is make Venn diagrams and triangles out of things. So in this case, the three things we're putting together is Emily Dickinson, Gilligan's Island, and all with the word maroon, pulling it together. Because in the show Gilligan's Island, the crew and guests of the Minnow end up getting stranded, marooned on an island. And Emily Dickinson, most of her life, sort of self-marooned at her house, which is kind of what a lot of us just went through. And, there's as I say these things, there's a tropical storm cristobal heading towards us. If I had a crystal ball, I could tell you how it's going to affect us. So, there's no way Emily Dickinson could have ever known whether she would have got along better with Ginger or Marianne, the professor or Gilligan, the Howells or the skipper, because Gilligan's Island didn't exist when she was writing her poems. Very crude submarines were just being invented in Barcelona. And so it's by pure cosmic coincidence that one is able to somehow read not all, but many poems of Emily Dickinson to the tune of the theme song of Gilligan's Island. So just a bit of blasphemy, we take a kind of one of her more serious poems, I Felt a Funeral in My Brain, in which she's either, or both recalling a funeral scene and also using it as a way to describe her mood. So it would go something like this. And I look forward to some of you who can sing actually contributing a better version. Not necessarily this poem, but one of our other ones. I felt a funeral in my brain, and mourners to and fro kept treading, till it seemed that sense was breaking through. And when they all were seated, a service like a drum kept beating, till I thought my mind was going numb. And then I heard them lift the box and creak across my soul. With those same boots of lead again, then space began to toll. Then space began to toll. That's the fun part, when you can do the Minnow would be lost part. And now, it should be noted that this is useful when we get to eventually talking about text and subtext, what's in the poem, and what, you can later use the poem for to read other things. And as my dogs were about to bark and ruin the set. Once again, I'll see you again soon. Maroons.